Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Jaking Off. It's me, Jake. This week I'm joined by two very funny comedians from Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, big warm round of applause for Gabbie Watts and Isaiah Pringle. Let them hear it. Yeah, that's right. You can find Isaiah on Instagram at Isaiah_Pringle. And Gabbie is at Gabbie Watts, GAHHBBIE Watts, WATTS. Check those guys out online. Check out their stand-up, both very funny comedians. And I also wanted to shout out a local comedy festival we got coming up here in the month of April, the Black Comedy Fest of Kansas City. So go follow those guys. Go check out what they got going on. I believe they're looking for sponsors and volunteers now for the festival. So I will have all of the social media for both Gabbie, Isaiah, and the comedy festival in the description of this podcast, so you guys can check those out. But as always, follow this pod at jaken.off.podcast and send anything at all to jaken.off.podcast@gmail.com. I'll look at it at least once. So that's the rules, and that's the end of the intro. Thank you guys so much again for tuning into another episode, and have a nice listen to the episode. Just like most rivers are now, I feel like.
There's not a good river.
You never hear of anybody being like, yeah, I caught like a fish and my family ate it and nobody got sick or anything when it comes to rivers.
You know, where else are we going to put all of this shit?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my river is dirty. Yeah, okay. It's the river or your backyard.
It's where you shit in.
They built a soccer stadium downtown. For the women's soccer team here, and I was
women's
just reading
sports. No, sorry, I'm trying to be a pick-me girl. I'm gonna be the pick-me girl on this podcast. Yucky women.
We've been lacking that for a long time.
Good.
So
I'm bringing it to KC.
But they're gonna take all the food waste and put it in the river.
Good.
And they announced that, and they were like. They're like, it's sustainable. And I was like, it just sounds
That's
convenient.
a lot of tampons in the river, you know?
They said food waste. So
exactly. I eat tampons. I love the yummy tamp. Anyway, was this a good intro for the show? Just so like this organic sort of like talking about
this is
eating
perfect.
tampons?
This is exactly what it's all about.
Great.
This is pretty much. I mean, the cover art for the podcast is like, it looks like I'm a penis that's being jerked off. So it's pretty,
sense.
It's pretty dumb.
How'd you come up with that?
Oh, it took me, I don't know. I like to think that God put the idea in my head.
It's pretty sinister.
The idea on the level of like a middle school bully.
Yeah, to have a podcast. He was like, you got to do it. He came to me in a dream.
What's it like
your name's Jacked Off. Yeah, that's...
What's it like being a penis instead of being a man?
It's tough to get. Yeah, it's
like
tough.
This leathery?
Yeah, like literally, like it's rough.
Yeah.
Like everything is like rough and
jagged.
You know, yeah.
Just like a penis.
Yeah.
Sick riffs. I'm glad I took it this direction. You guys were having a good organic moment, but I was like, I want to ask this question, and it wasn't good.
I thought it was good.
I'm sorry. I don't have anything else really amazing to say.
That's
fine. So Gabbie, I did want to ask you, because you play music and stuff. You've been in some bands.
Yeah.
Do you have any like band like breakup drama stories or anything like that?
Oh. Well, sadly, I don't know if this is reflective of me, but I feel like most of my bands have dissolved because we were all too mentally ill. So it's not really it's not a fun story. It's just like I had one band member at one point who she had a psychiatric break and had to be institutionalized.
That's tough.
And then I had some other friends who were kind of mentally ill. So maybe it's me. Like I do feel like at some point, I mean, I feel like I need to be institutionalized soon. Otherwise, I am going to think like I'm causing all of these great women to become so mentally ill.
That's metal as fuck. That's metal as fuck, though. You're a real emo band.
Yeah.
Our emo band is so good.
Yeah.
That we broke up to go to the hospital.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, don't listen to all those fucking posers.
Yeah. So I think, it's mostly because I still, love and respect everyone, but it's just, it's kind of been, also, this thing COVID had happened, and so that also kind of messed it up a little bit.
Getting your way
because,
a little
sometimes you have different priorities, I guess, when there's a pandemic and, people get long COVID. It's just, it's an issue. So now I just make music by myself. So I'm the only person I can make mentally ill. I'm trying to protect people. It's a me problem.
It's a public service.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I had to do stand-up, because I'm like, you can be your own, villain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be my own anti-hero.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
So, yeah.
The reason why I asked is because I read this story today about this band that they made this post like saying, hey, we're breaking up. They're a hardcore band, which like I'm not even completely sure if I'm being 100% honest exactly what that means.
It's like, at the core of them, they're hard.
Yeah.
Like penises.
Yeah.
They just have like erections that won't go down. That's what it means.
Right.
They're a hardcore band. It's like it's a serious thing.
Yeah, they're a band hardcore.
They play, smooth jazz, but it's like it's very well structured.
Oh yeah,
it's a hardcore band.
I've been doing this thing where, because last year I only listened to Taylor Swift, and so I'm trying to get into like listening to other music. So what I do is there's lots of different random genre generators, and so I just like press that and tells me a random genre to listen to. So I've been listening to Squee and Norwegian space disco. Squee, it's like if Mario started being a hipster and drinking IPAs. I feel like it's kind of like Nintendo core, but it's like gotten older.
I was wondering if it was Mario, the Nintendo character.
Yeah, that Mario, not like Mario. He's just my friend. Yeah, he's my friend.
He sings "You Should Let Me Love You."
Yeah. He drives a cart. Is that what they do? I don't know nothing about that, but
you don't know Mario Kart? Shut up.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
you do.
I know it's called Mario Kart, but I didn't know if it was what kind of cart.
What do the kids do these days? What is Mario?
Okay,
You've never heard of Mario Kart?
I didn't have cable. I mean, that's not even on cable.
Wow.
I only played Pokemon Color.
Yo, they have ones that drive around on the ground in your house.
Where?
Like on you put it and then you're like looking at your TV and it's like it turns your house into
and you have to wear those stupid glasses?
No.
What?
It's just on
it's
your
a
TV.
laser?
Like a little cart. It has like a camera that is like streaming you're driving a remote control car.
Oh.
But you don't have to look at it. You just look at it like you're playing.
Yeah, well, I'm a woman. I don't know about technology.
It is some pretty high-tech stuff.
It sounds pretty high-tech.
But this hardcore band broke up, and they made this post on their page because the lead singer was dosing the bassist with estrogen.
Nice.
As a means to get his partner. Like, he was obsessed with the bassist's girlfriend, and so he was like, I'll dose him with estrogen. And
wait, was it the lead singer who dosed?
Yes.
Okay, the lead singer
bassist.
dosed the bassist. Okay.
So that he would
What a reversal.
Yeah, it's like this crazy. Like, and so he dosed him with estrogen in like pre-workout or something. It's fucking insane. Like, this guy cut his pre-workout with estrogen because he was like, I'll look like more macho than him. And like, she'll want to be with me.
Impossible. You're playing the bass. He's playing the bass. You're doomed.
Right.
There's nothing you can do against that.
It's also, if you're a woman dating a bass player, you're bisexual. So if like he gets titties, that's the perfect man.
You said they're in a hardcore band.
yeah. Actually, when you put it like that, that kind of does make a lot of sense. Like why it didn't pan out. Actually.
Yeah, weirdly. Yeah, I can't believe they broke up over that. That's so. Just poisoning, non-consensually poisoning someone.
Broke up over some hijinks. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't believe in the band enough.
Gabby's band only broke up when they had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all are not real musicians.
Yeah, we didn't even have fans, and I did that. That's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like that's. Also, it's the bass. That's weird that he's usually the lead singer. They have the hotter ones and then the bass. So I guess he sucks at singing. I don't know.
He probably does. He also sucks at coming up with plans to like lure somebody away from another person too.
He didn't consider having like a good personality or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
He said, I'm not going to better myself. I'm going to worsen everybody else around me.
Yeah, you know what's easier than
self-improvement?
Yeah, self-improvement.
Terrorism.
Cutting my bassist pre-workout with estrogen.
Yeah, did he get big, voluptuous tits?
He got, actually, it was like really harmful. Like he ended up getting like ulcers and like had like some issues and stuff. It is fucking.
Actually taking drugs unsupervised is
like,
bad for you. Turns out
they found out that the lead singer did it because he got drunk and just admitted it to everybody. Like thinking that they'd be like,
that's so silly.
No big deal, man. And they were like, no, dude, you fucking almost killed our friend.
No, honestly, pretty hardcore, right?
It is, though.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's on brand.
I don't know.
Pretty hardcore.
How would y'all try to steal away the bass player's girlfriend?
That's a good question.
I mean, I really can't think of another way to do it besides cutting the pre-workout with that. But also, isn't that just? What is it?
It's just like caffeine. It's just like.
Is it?
It's like a powder that people put, and they put it in like a water bottle that they shake. You know.
Yeah, he does some of that.
Yeah.
You snort it.
Yeah, yeah. You could probably snort it and it would work.
You
honestly.
can insufflate most things. You know, there was like a caffeine vape. I got an advertisement for. I think that will kill people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't actually know.
Honestly, crazy. The idea of vaping caffeine.
It's like, don't talk to me before I've had my vape caffeine.
It was after I had blocked like a million Instagram ads, and you started to get the crazy shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, here's a B12 vape. Here's a caffeine vape. I was like, are these safe like in your lungs? I don't know.
I get ads for like. It'll be like an ad for like a boot camp for like to make you into a man. It's like that ad. It's so weird. I get ads for that, and then I get ads for like food that like like dehydrated food that you buy in buckets for like the apocalypse.
They're preparing you for something.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I mean like I do look at that stuff a lot, but just it's like to laugh. Like, you know what I mean? For to laugh.
Yes, I love to laugh.
Until
another.
You're not gonna be laughing one day.
Yeah.
There's this guy down in
the river.
Branson, Missouri. You guys know about Branson?
I don't know much about Missouri. I don't keep up to date with it.
It's like where Yakov Smirnoff lives now.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he has a.
Holy shit!
He has a.
Why did he call it Smirnoff?
Oh no, that's a vodka guy. Yakov Smirnoff is the comic who's like, I am Russian, like in Russia, bear eats you.
So it is a parrot. Okay.
Yeah, and he also is famous because he drew or he like did this like crazy 9/11 mural. That's another thing that he did. Like, so which is I don't know. I guess he's like Russian.
And he lives in Missouri.
Yeah, he lives in Branson, Missouri now. It's like a Vegas residency, but like obviously like way worse.
I don't see how it could be worse than this place in Missouri.
Yeah, and that's like where that's where that guy lives. There's like a fucking amusement park or whatever. But also there is this guy named Jim Baker who's like he's like a televangelist, but he's the televangelist who sells the food in buckets, and like you can go and like sit and watch, and they'll feed you the food. And I've thought about going. Like I've like really like considered going there
to get a bucket.
Just to sit and like watch and get to eat the food with all the old people. Like I don't know.
Do they eat from the bucket? That's not saving the bucket. You guys see those for later.
They make it and they like stir it in a big vat at the front of the room, and they put it all on TV too. And it'll be like gross, just disgusting slop, like just the most disgusting, just like just it looks like neon orange, like cheese. It's like cheddar and broccoli, but it's like clearly like rice and like just something yellow and like with chunks of green shit in it.
I like when food's just referred to as a color. You know, that's nice.
Yeah.
We're having brown for dinner tonight.
Literally the only way to describe it is yellow.
I guess it's dumb of me because I didn't. That's like a plot line in Righteous Gemstones, and I was like,
really?
yeah, that's I guess a real thing that happened
they
too.
like mixing the food and they like pour it out to everybody.
Yeah,
I just think it'd be fun.
It's also a plot line in Jonestown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder how many people in that cult just started by, I'm gonna go check it out for fun, see what happens.
Yeah, it could be that.
Well, do they have a service tomorrow? Let's go.
I don't know. I think it's like a weekdays thing because it's on TV. It's like a television audience.
Okay.
But maybe I might look into it. I don't know. It's not that far. It's only like a couple hours away. But I don't know. I want to eat their food. I want to get their bucket of yellow, dude.
I'm also
Let me try.
I'm trying to transition into not only Christian comedy but bucket comedy.
Yeah.
So this will actually be perfect for my career.
I bring my card. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
You know what? Just saying, this would be great to sponsor a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you to our sponsors, The Bucket.
Yeah, this is I'll become a no fap podcast or something. They'll like that. If I'm like, everybody quit jerking off.
Yeah, jerking off
you.
is bad for you.
They don't like it. So I don't know. I'll tell everybody to stop.
Yeah.
And then they'll give me some money.
Yeah.
to sell their buckets of food, I guess.
Yeah. And
that's
you could
my
Stop jerking off. Eat the slop and stop jerking off.
Yeah.
Stop jerking off and eat your yellow.
Exactly. It's good to incentivize people.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the shit with the Kellogg's guy being like poor people should eat cereal for dinner?
No.
Oh,
what happened?
It's insane. It is the CEO of Kellogg's was on CNBC and they were doing these ads where they're like being like, you should eat cereal for dinner, like, and like kids were like, yeah, like it's like Tony the Tiger. But then he basically is like, well, like we see this as a market like corner for us because people are under pressure, and like as they continue to be under pressure, cereal will be a cheap choice for them to eat.
So they're like, let's advertise to the people who are going to do this because they have to.
Yeah.
I've never if you've
insane.
ever eaten cereal for dinner, like especially. He said, this is a corner of the market. He's like, oh, yeah, we're going to have to corner poor people.
Oh,
if poor people eat cereal for dinner, it's not because they saw a TV ad. It's because they had to.
Yes.
What are you?
And also,
It's
then you're just
insane.
eating the Kroger brand. Then you're not going to get the Kellogg's brand. But also, Kellogg's, he was the guy who he started making like cornflakes and stuff because he was part of like this
Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, and also
he
it
wanted
was-
kids to stop jerking off.
Exactly.
There's
It
a
all,
church
it
in
all
it,
I'm
goes
telling you.
back to not getting people to jerk off.
Yes.
So it actually is a two-pronged
Yeah.
solution: is that you got something to eat and you're not going to jerk off anymore. But I feel like it was always a weird connection. It's like this food is so bland, it's going to take the sin out of you.
Yeah.
You know. But
It's-
I feel like if you had flavorful food, I feel like actually that would make you stop masturbating as much because then you already have the satisfaction in the food.
Yeah.
So their logic is all wrong. The
doesn't
Christians
make a
don't
lot
have
of
good
sense.
logic sometimes.
Yeah.
And also Graham Cracker, that wasn't his name, Graham Cracker. He was a cracker, but
That's worse.
his name was Graham. But that was also the thing with graham crackers. They were just they'd have like the sanatoriums and shit. And they'd be
Yeah.
like, have these cornflakes and these graham crackers, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be healed.
Yeah, it's literally, he set out, he was like, I want to make the least sexual food possible. And he did it, kind of. And he also...
I've never fucked a cornflake before.
no.
I just think I would get a UTI if I did. That's the issue. That's the only issue
That's all
really
that's
standing in the way.
But he also used to like brag about like how he like wasn't fucking his wife too. Like
hell
he
yes,
would
brother.
like go around. He'd be like, I haven't fucked my wife in years. That's a real thing that guy did.
Damn,
It's pretty fun. I mean, like, dude, he is about it for real.
That's
he's like, I
Oh my
fucked
God.
17 dogs, but I haven't fucked my wife one time, not even once.
Yeah. That's what Seventh Adventists do.
Yeah, stop fucking your wife and fuck some dogs, dude. That's Christian, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't read the Bible, but it was pretty boring. I did try to read
Yeah.
it, but Genesis is really not a hot way to start. I feel like it just needs some restructuring, the Bible. You know, I think they could. And then,
Yeah.
and then it's also they don't do. I feel like if they had simultaneous plot lines, instead of just like dividing it into
Yeah.
different. I'm just saying there's some edits.
I wish it lacks romance for me. You know, I like a little like love interest.
No,
you
it
know?
is
What about
Lot's wife.
no? Yeah.
He
What about
fucking
turning
Lot.
into a pillar of salt because you couldn't resist looking back at your
That's
love?
romance,
That's
yeah.
romantic as hell.
I haven't read it.
Oh,
I
shit,
haven't read
you're
that
a
much
fake
of it.
fan.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of. I read Job because it's really short, and basically, Job is just a dude who God's trying to test him for some reason or another, and then the devil's like, let me do it, let me try to test him. And then he's like keeps giving him like bile and like weird bumps on him. And then Job, he's got all his boys, he's got a lot of boys who come and hang out with him, and his boys are like, hey Job, it's gonna be okay, the Lord's just testing you or whatever. And Job's like, no. But that's the brotherly love is real. And then they suck him off at the end. That's
you
why it's so
serious? Do
short.
they
No,
actually
they don't
suck
actually do that. But that's why I'm gonna do some edits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be good. I think adding the they suck them off at the end part. Could be
Yeah,
good.
that's what you do with your boys, right? I don't know. I've never hung out with my boys, but
It
I
happens.
imagine. Yeah.
Certainly. I mean,
They
know.
wrote it down in the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
I don't think it would be in there if they didn't actually do it.
yeah. But then he had some. Oh my God, they had some crazy names in the Bibles. I feel like his name was like not platypus, but there was one of his. It was a similar
The
name,
U.S. name. It ends in U.S.
something like that. Platypus would be a good name.
Yeah. Our little
If anyone's
platypus.
looking for a baby name out there,
They're not.
oh well,
They come with names.
I
now.
hope that
They
no one
do.
who listens to this podcast is pregnant.
yeah. Because this will cause you to have a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Jaken off, that's our guarantee. You'll have a miscarriage listening to this
Just doing your
podcast.
Lamage classes to this
Please,
podcast.
if you listen to this podcast, please do not procreate. This is bad. No, it's good. You guys are really nice. I appreciate you
Thank you.
sticking it out. I don't know. This Kellogg guy was pretty flippant, and obviously he's like on TV. So the other guy was just like,
Why?
"Of course,"
Why was he on CNBC?
because it's just what they do. You know, they just like
What
bring
was
on the
this-
guy from Kellogg's to be like, "I want to sell cereal for dinner."
they just gave him airtime to advertise, or what was
They were like launching this new ad campaign, and like it's like the business news, so they cover business. It's like the dumbest version of
So
news.
why
It's
did-
like,
Mm.
it? So they and now people are mad at him for.
everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Saying that
everybody's
poor
like,
people should
"Jesus
eat
Christ."
cereal?
Yeah, they're like, "This guy is evil."
So they-
of course.
They went into a company's headquarters and was like, "Tell me why you advertise," and then he was like, "Because I want people to eat cereal," and
Yeah,
now we're like, "Why did he say that?"
Yeah, it definitely seems like he slipped up. Like somebody didn't train him well enough to be like, don't say the quiet part out loud. Like, don't say exactly what we're doing on TV to everyone, please.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, this is. I think it's fun now that they're targeting poor people, because it used to be like with Special K and the Special K
Yeah.
diet. It was like talking to women, like if you don't have a thigh gap, you're fat, and so why don't you just eat cereal as a diet? And I like how they say it's whenever they say like a diet, but really it's just like anorexia. I think that's always a fun little
Yeah.
thing. That's very
yeah,
cool.
It's pretty, I mean, yeah, most diets are like insane, like kind of, if you like dig into them a little bit, like fad diets, I mean, like,
Yeah, most of them don't work.
you know,
or it's not, yeah.
or they're just like based on like something crazy. I went
The Bible. That's what they're
yeah,
based on. Yeah.
I went and so like Jordan Peterson is like notorious for like having like an insane fad diet.
Doesn't
where
he do all the meats?
He just eats beef and drinks water.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like,
I don't believe
Wow.
him.
Dude, I don't believe him
I
either.
don't believe him.
But I went and saw him recently. And
Okay.
because I was like, I got to check it out.
In concert?
I recorded a bunch of it and I made fun of him on this podcast, and then I got called fat by a bunch of Jordan Peterson fans afterwards,
that
which was
means
what
your
I was
show's,
expecting.
your show's doing pretty well then. That's good.
It was like the only thing that's gotten like a significant number of comments that I've like posted, but I was like, yes, finally one of these reached them. I was like, thank you. So like, you know, I did think it was quite funny, but his wife talked about their meat diet. And like she opened it with like this story. She was like opening for him, and she did this story about how her sister has dementia, and she had to, like, you know, before it got really bad, she came and went on tour with them, and she was like, I'll do exactly what you guys do for 2 weeks while I'm on tour with you. And they were like, okay, so you're just gonna like eat meat and water. And then at the end of the tour, they like went to a wedding together, and somebody at the wedding like saw her sister and was like, hey, you look amazing, like da 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 da. And then she was like, basically was like, so I'm not saying that it's
And she doesn't have
she's like, that's
dementia
just
anymore.
anecdotal evidence, but
She sounds like that too.
meat and that is
the
exactly.
whole family
She sounds just like Jordan
Kermit the
Peterson's
Frog.
wife.
Well,
exactly what you
I
think.
mean, people also, a couple weeks ago, people on
Should
this
sound
one
like Miss
day,
Piggy.
like a bunch of people on one day, they told me I looked good, but I had just had the stomach flu. So you can't trust how
exactly.
you look.
No, exactly.
You know?
It's
I was like,
they're-
I'm malnourished and dehydrated, and you're
Yeah.
telling me I look amazing.
And it's like you're seeing people that you haven't seen in years. Like, of course, they're walking up to you and being like, "Oh my god, like I'm so happy to see you."
You were
Like,
telling
know what I
me
mean?
you were saying his sister has dementia, and I thought you were gonna
She's
say,
not
oh,
doesn't have it
I
anymore.
thought you were gonna say,
No.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say
No.
like, oh, yeah,
It's
she
way dumber.
went to she started doing this diet, then she went to the doctor, and they were like, oh, your amyloid plaque level is decreased, or you know something.
Yeah, it was
No,
hilarious.
she
it was
looked
just like, yeah,
pretty.
look,
Yeah,
she
it was
looked nice.
insane.
She
I
was
recognize
glistening
you,
with
man.
the grease, you know?
The guy, there's like this old
A
guy
meat diet
sitting
can
next
even
to
make
me.
dementia patients look pretty. That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's it's here. We got all the meats. The Jake and Off podcast, sponsored by the meats.
Jordan Peterson Steak Company. That sounds like a thing that could exist. If he doesn't have his own steak company, that guy's fucking up.
Oh, true.
You know,
Yeah.
like, how are you gonna be the meat guy and not sell steaks?
Yeah, he came to the Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta during, but it was like they have Monday through Wednesday, they have open mics. And usually it's weird. People still buy tickets to see the open mics because I don't feel like they realize what it is. But
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson
Yeah.
came one time on like the mic night. And then there's all these dudes in the back being like, oh, I'm going to say some crazy jokes for Jordan Peterson. And then they all pussied out and they didn't do it. But
Really?
but there's this one comic, Bob Place, who likes him. And Bob's he's crazy on stage. It's amazing. He'll do like bits that work. He'll do this crowd work where he'll basically say he's sexually assaulting the audience, and then they'll laugh. It's amazing. It's his comedy's so amazing. But he does like a card trick at one of his bits, and he got Jordan Peterson to come on stage, and he did the bit with Jordan Peterson. So it was pretty iconic. It was
That's
pretty
sick.
crazy.
That's
yeah.
tight, honestly.
But it's funny because it's like a 80-person like theater. It's like very small.
Yeah,
But it's just like, Jordan
yeah,
Peterson, why the
yeah,
fuck are you here? Like, what's going on?
That's cool. I don't know. I went and saw him. It was honestly like not as like it was like not as funny as I thought it was gonna be.
Dang.
Like I didn't get like a lot of shit. He basically just like preached Genesis for like the first
What was it? Was
for
it
an hour. He was like
I mean, the event.
it was Jordan Peterson talking in an ice
Jordan
rink.
Peterson and friends.
Yeah.
That's what it was billed as.
So it was called he's like on tour. It's like the We Who Wrestle with God tour.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
yeah, it's like
gotcha.
really
Did he
dumb.
wrestle?
No, I wish.
that'd
It
be
would have been
fun.
sick. But he just talked about Genesis for like an hour, and then the only part that was like even remotely like interesting was the Q&A, because somebody was like, what should women look for in a man? And he of course said
Ooh.
something insane where he was like,
What's that have to do with
they have
Genesis?
to be the right kind of monster, or like something like that. Jesus, dude.
No, I like that.
Amazing.
I like that. No, let's hear him out.
Well, I feel like that's the thing with all like sort of the problematic dudes. Sometimes it takes a while to get to for them to like say something crazy. So if you just like listen to like one episode of a podcast or something, you're like, well, that seemed slightly normal, and then you listen and you're like, oh, there it is. There it is.
Well, and especially that guy too, because he really is like I feel like a sort of like a gateway of sorts to like much worse shit.
A gateway drug.
Yeah, he kind of is like.
Into
I mean, it's
Ben
definitely
Shapiro.
an indicator of a type of person.
Yes,
you know.
Yes, there were a lot of dudes like wearing suits there, which was like really funny. And, like,
I just want to look pretty for Jordan.
Yeah, that really is like they were like, maybe he'll notice me.
Yeah,
he's gonna like point to somebody in the crowd and be like,
they're just eating like steak off of a plate just with their suits and just like
but yeah.
Well, I think the cereal thing can really, I think that's gonna work.
I think you can make it. Yeah.
I
think it's gonna work, but I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with their advertising.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be exactly like what he said. Something else fucked up that I saw, but this is I don't know. It's hard to gauge this one. So these kids at this Oklahoma school licked peanut butter off of some toes for charity, like at an assembly.
Is it high school?
Yeah.
Amazing.
High school?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, right? Like
that's.
I didn't.
They should have
Trying to figure out if it's better or worse. I think it's better. Yeah.
No, well, I have a bit that doesn't work, but I feel like this is a good indicator of, because I think, okay, it's not. This is why the bit doesn't work, because it doesn't make any sense and it's too long. But I feel like, your tip's falling off.
Your tip is falling.
But
not today. Reclaim your foreskin.
But I feel like America is almost ready for a 3-party system.
Yeah.
Okay? Because of the existence of wiki feet.
Yes.
Right? Because you don't got wiki titty, you don't got wiki ass, which those are the main two, right?
Yeah.
But you got wiki feet, and I feel like the foot people, they're making a way. So soon I think we're going to have, are you an ass man? Are you a titty boy? Are you a foot fella? So there's like 3 options now. And I feel like that means in the politics we're almost ready for 3 options as well. And so I feel like this is an indicator, like, we got Jill Stein's going to win the election. I think that's... That's anyway. So that's the theory. So I'm glad no one else laughs when I say this. So thank you for being on board. I think this is a good indication for the future of society.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not this specific.
And maybe even your bit though.
Because they're licking toe. Because it just shows that people are so into foot fetishes that feet. Because they're not licking off of titties. I mean, I guess, but also maybe they just haven't regulated feet yet in high schools. I don't know.
I think that one of the more disturbing aspects of this too is I looked up I read 3 or 4 different articles of the same story, and I cannot find where it says whose toes they were licking the peanut butter off of.
The principal.
It's just
they said all they've said is that none of them were faculty. I'm like, but who were they?
Well, I feel like that's on you to do some original reporting. You should let's call the school right now and leave a message.
I've tried to do that about this stingray that was pregnant. It was like an immaculate conception, and it's at this lab in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been born. They were like, it's gonna be born this morning. And then so I called them. I was pretty high. And I was like, is the stingray giving birth yet? And she goes, oh sweetie, that's really nice, but no. I was like, okay, thanks.
I hope you said like that.
It's just just another kid on the phone.
Maybe if I called these people, I'm like, hey, whose toes were those
child.
kids licking? Maybe they would be a little more responsive. I don't know.
But also, I mean, is there an image of the toes? Are they?
There's a video of them, dude.
Are they? They look toe?
I don't feel like we should.
But I want to see.
This is like a local news video. This is like a local news
and they've incriminated all of their watchers.
Yeah. What I think is I feel like it's so important, whose toes are these? Because
why can Fox get away with airing this? They said when I say, hey, you want to see this video of a kid licking peanut butter off of a foot, people are like, oh man, I have questions. But when Fox News does it and puts it on the air,
so the thing that the school keeps saying to defend themselves is that it's for charity.
What charity?
Raising money for a coffee shop that employs people with like disabilities, developmental disabilities, stuff
that
like
makes
that.
it worse, I feel
Now
like.
look, they can't take that money now. Those,
Yeah.
if I'm that coffee shop, what do I look like accepting
This
this
isn't
money?
fair trade at all.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is terrible.
You know what I made those kids do so we could have a roof over our heads?
Yeah.
It's just as crazy. It's like, dude, I can't believe that nobody stood up and was like, hey, we're already
Disabled people don't need coffee shops that bad.
we're
All
already
right, let's
having
quit
enough
it.
trouble at school with like insane people going to school board meetings and like ruining like the education system. What if we didn't have the kids suck peanut butter off?
I mean, this is what
toast?
happens when you don't have books about gay people. This is a direct result. If they just read about gay people, they'd be like, oh, I get it now, instead of having to do this shit. So Republicans, take note. This is what's happening to our schools now that we don't have the gay books.
This was in notorious Republican state Oklahoma too. So
yeah.
that actually really holds up.
Yeah.
If y'all had just kept your friends close and your enemies closer, you would have known.
Exactly.
No
but now
kidding.
you got kids licking toes.
Yeah, clearly these Republicans have never read Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Well, did they raise a lot of money?
They raised $156,000.
Okay.
Because of
Yeah, actually, that type of money has never been seen in the school system before this
like-
Is this
event.
like
Actually,
high
They're like,
schoolers' money?
come to this school and see some kids suck some toes. And everybody's like,
I've actually
"We'll
never
pay-"
seen this.
They're like, we will pay you thousands of dollars for that. Like, it's insane. It's crazy that it got okayed. It's so wild.
Yeah, it's like all the priests in town came. They're like, here's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like usually we're the ones asking for money, but now we're going to donate to the little children licking the toes.
Yeah, we're doing a special
It's very
Bible
godly.
study.
I mean, they put the oil on Jesus's foots.
Yeah,
So
no
this
kidding.
is based. I mean, peanut butter
Yeah.
can be. Was it like the organic
Yeah.
type with the oil on the
Yeah.
top? That's probably.
I think they got
it's godly what they're doing
I
here.
think they got it from that Super Bowl commercial
Which one?
where Jesus is where all the people are washing each other's feet. It's like you put that on TV, and then next thing you know,
Take the gay
Kids
books
are
out. You
sucking
have
toes.
that. You got kids sucking toes.
yeah, kids are sucking toes.
Was that
That's-
in Genesis?
Yeah.
Christianity is just
And
a
on the-
disguise for a foot fetish cult.
And on the seventh day, God made peanut butter that you could suck off as a little dozy wosies. That's what it says. That's so insane.
Yeah.
I wish my high school was fun.
Yeah,
this.
yeah, right.
We didn't suck any toes.
Yeah.
But that was, I feel like that was,
Suck
when I was in high school, it was when the potato-looking Birkenstocks were very in, and your feet get really sweaty in those shoes. So no one's toes would be good enough to suck.
I don't know.
That's the issue
I
with
feel
my
like some
school.
people would be more into that.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
The other thing that's weird about it is like, if
no,
you
there's
can
nothing weird
see-
about it. What are you talking about? The
Yeah.
other thing? There's nothing. This is normal.
Is the way that they are making them do it is like they're laying on their stomachs, like
That pose was
yeah, it's like dude,
instructed
just,
of them. That
yeah.
was no.
I
It was,
think
what?
it is it their classmates' toes? Like I feel like it doesn't matter whose toes they are. I just can't
There's no good
think
option.
of an appropriate like answer. You know what I mean? Like
Said the other fucked up thing is they're laying down. If you're sucking toes, have some dignity.
yeah, dude, you're
It's
like,
like what do you?
The thing
literally,
about
like-
toes is they can travel. You
Yeah,
know, you
they
can
can
really,
put
you could lift up that foot
Yeah.
and eat the. You could have them sitting. You could have toes are
Was
pretty
it a-
mobile.
I'm not gonna ask more questions.
No, ask
no,
more
ask
questions.
away. Yeah,
I was gonna
please.
say, was it like a competition? Was it? Cause
It was like-
there are multiple of them lined up in a row there.
Yeah,
was it a race?
So
Is there a
my
competitive
understanding-
aspect to this?
my understanding is yeah, there was like they're having all these different things going on for charity. It's like philanthropy week at their school. And so that's the other thing that they kept saying is they were like the students, they signed up for it, like they like knew what they were doing, and it's like, but dude, like that's why we have age of consent laws. Like you can't just like
It's like
make
who
these
gave
kids,
them
like,
the option? They're like,
you
we
know-
don't know. They just all, they like wrote in the sucking of the toes.
I think that what it is that I think that clearly there are a bunch of fucking people that work at the school that just are vanilla or like just never like I don't know like
oh, you ain't never heard of this.
Yeah, exactly. And so
yeah,
nobody can be like, excuse me, like maybe we shouldn't do this because like
oh yeah, we went to
I know a lot of people who would have really liked it.
We went to Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
and they have like. Have you ever been?
I've seen Cirque du Soleil on ice.
Oh.
With my friend Mitchell and his grandma.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So.
Well,
shout out to Mitchell and his grandma.
Shout out to
Wow.
Mitchell and
Ice.
his grandma.
No, yeah, they had their story this time. It was about a bunch of animals.
Okay,
right?
nice.
And so all of the costumes, they had a bunch of animal masks and stuff. And then, they were well made. So it was like when you see an iguana, there's this dude wearing an iguana mask, and you're like, oh, he's pretending to be an iguana. That's fine. And there's a dude in an eagle mask, and you're like, oh, he's pretending to be an eagle, right? And then there was a dude in a dog mask, and I was like, this is a sexual thing, isn't it? This is because I know about furries.
Was it like the dog mask? One?
It wasn't the one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't furry, but it was made of paper mache. If they all they had to do was put fur on it. It was basically the one.
Is an interesting option for your furry costume. It seems.
Yeah,
like.
it was like
it
was just the material that was holding back from this being fetish content.
Dude, Cirque du Soleil.
Well, have you met circus people? They're freaky.
Yeah,
my sister married into circus people.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so my brother-in-law he works at the Renaissance Fair, and
no
so
shit.
he does the mud show.
Hell yeah!
And dives into the.
Sometimes?
He's actually he's done the Kansas ones before.
Sick. I love that shit.
Yeah, so the mud show, that's him. That's my family, and they're freaky people. The circus. I mean, I think the Renaissance Fair. No offense, Judah. I think they are like the step below the circus people. Because I mean, obviously, Cirque du Soleil is like the creme de la creme. You know, that's peak.
Can you say that?
I don't know. Is that racist now? Creme de la creme.
I think that it goes but like carnival people are the lowest.
The carnies are at the bottom.
Yeah, I feel like for sure Renaissance Festival people are at least definitely above like carnival people or like state fair.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
State fair people.
Like the guys who set up the really.
I mean, I've got the state
machines.
I think birthday clowns were pretty low until the Joker came out, and I think they moved up a few points.
Everybody was like, we gotta start giving these guys a little respect.
Yeah,
because they are scary.
There was one cool one. They made a movie about it.
Well, the thing about the Renaissance Fair people, I mean, we can't really judge them though, just because a lot of them are also stand-ups, you know.
Yeah, so that is true. Yeah, I take back anything bad that I've ever said, which I don't think is much. So actually, I don't take anything back. I will say it again. I love the Renaissance Festival. I like a good Scotch egg. You ever get a Scotch egg?
I like getting the meat on a stick.
Yeah, meat on, a big turkey leg, but a Scotch egg is like a hard-boiled egg that they wrap in like bacon or like sausage sometimes, and then they fry it.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of these.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what they eat in Scotland, I think.
Yeah, yep.
That's all they have. And what is it called? Haggis, which is just like meat inside intestine that tastes bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like,
the third part is the defining feature.
That it tastes bad?
Yeah, because we have hot dogs, right? That's not haggis, is it?
No.
Exactly.
But they are better. Right?
Hot dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had haggis. I've just had it described to me.
Yeah.
Well, also, here's the thing. Okay, I did, after college, I applied for a Fulbright, and I didn't get it. And I think it's because they knew I was a big fat liar because I was trying to do this program in Scotland. And I was like, oh, I'm just really excited to eat all this Scottish food. I really want it. But I think they knew I was like, I didn't actually really want it that bad because that shit's nasty.
Yeah, they're like, that's fucking
It's
gross.
like universally nasty. Even the people are like, yeah, we just eat nasty stuff.
Yeah, well, they have to make teeth that or like food that people without teeth can eat.
Oh yeah, or like that are jagged and like go in the wrong angles. So soft food.
I actually did read a story about I didn't bring it with me, but it was about how there's like a dentist crisis in England, and I was like, of course there is, dude. Like
there's not enough.
Yeah, like no, that people can't see the dentist quickly, and like in rural areas, like there's not a lot of dentists, and I was like, yeah, that's what we've all been saying,
that's
dude.
On the nose.
That's what everybody has been saying this whole time about you guys.
Yeah, it's like, don't be mad at us now.
Yeah, and they're like, well, actually, it's because we're having a rough time.
Yeah,
it's like, we know. Fix your teeth, dude.
Yeah. I mean, thank God we don't have socialized medicine, you know?
Yeah, thank God.
That's really the huge issue there.
Yeah, you have to like wait in line. It's like such a weird.
And
like,
you have to pay like
$3.
Like
like as if you can get seen by a doctor quickly now.
Yeah,
you know,
you could
like,
just pay like $1,000 to have them remove a tooth that you could have done by yourself, you know? That's a privilege we have in America.
Yeah. Yep. I love this country.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about America. That's what I'm always saying. Isaiah, tell him that's what I always say.
No.
Okay, never mind. Though don't put that on the podcast because soon they're gonna execute us. You know, who aren't patriots.
I just have been like having like I feel like I've been wrestling with this peanut butter foot story.
And with Jordan Peterson, you've been wrestling as well.
Yeah. I've been wrestling both. I've been wrestling with God. I've been wrestling with Jordan Peterson, and I've been wrestling with the peanut
toes.
butter.
Yeah,
on these toes.
what's pulling at your heartstrings about it?
I can't imagine that nobody thought to be like, don't, because you know. Of course they raised a bunch of money. There's a bunch of fucking people who would love to see children suck toes. Like, obviously, you know.
Was this like a... It says
like,
this was part
these,
of the
freaks,
wonderful week
dude.
of fundraising, right?
Yes.
Was this like a whole day? What was
How
this one
long
of the
were they
events
sucking
during...
This was at like an
toes?
assembly.
the
They did it in
days?
front of the entire school.
Yes, but was one day of the wonderful week of fundraising toe sucking day?
This was just like a couple minutes of it, I think.
How big a part of the bill was this event?
Yeah,
is what I mean.
it's Toe Suck Tuesday.
Toe Suck Tuesday. Everybody sucks toes.
Yeah.
Because
Get on your knees.
And there's just some guy in like the amphitheater be like, let me suck some of them toes. I brought my own peanut butter.
because I've seen fundraisers where it's like
Exactly.
it has milestones or checkpoints or whatever. It's like if we raise $40, I'll drink like a shot of lemon juice. You know, like increasingly more painful. So if this was like something they had to do hidden in a stack of like milestone checkpoints, they're just like, oh yeah, we hit this many. That means, and then they just draw from the thing. It's like, oh, we gotta lick peanut butter off of the toes or whatever. It's like I can see that getting past like everybody who needed to review
that actually is a good point. I was just having trouble thinking of that scenario. I guess. I don't know. I was like, nobody.
So
Nobody
if this was
said-
just toe suck Tuesday as billed,
Did you guys
then
ever?
there's a
They actually
problem.
ended the fundraiser after that. It's like we've raised enough money, you know.
So we don't.
We don't need any more.
They're like, wow, everybody went home right after the toe sucking
Yeah,
thing.
it's like-
had the whole gymnasium emptied out, and it's like, oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, and they only meant to raise $5,000, but now they what was it, $150K or something?
Dude, a bunch of people who aren't allowed within a certain distance of a school got together beforehand, and they were like, they can't stop all of us. They're like, well, they can't stop all of us at once. That had to have been like what happened. They're like, we'll give them so much money, they won't kick us out if we just give them a bunch of money.
If you're a pervert with a lot of money, they can't stop you. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see that thing? A similar thing was like, this was just a prank that they pulled on some kids where they had them blindfolded and then had them like kiss somebody, but it was like their mom. And so these kids basically like made out with their mom in front of the entire school.
Incest is such a funny prank. That's so funny.
Insane. Who's thinking
Bro,
this?
just put estrogen in my pre-work.
Oh, you should maybe send that in for next year for the fundraiser. Snorting some estrogen.
Have them snort some estrogen pre-workout. But I don't know. I just feel like school assemblies have changed.
Yeah.
That is like.
Do you wish you were back in school now?
Yes.
Like, let me do it over. Enroll me.
God, I wish I could suck some peanut butter off of some toes.
Maybe this was a reward for the kids who raised a certain amount of money.
No, this is actually for the kids who only eat cereal for dinner. They're like, we're going to give you some peanut butter, but you got to get off the toes. This is actually not what Kellogg's wanted, you know? R.I.P. Kellogg.
Opposite.
Yeah.
He's like, peanut butter is too sexy.
Exactly.
It's too sexy of a food. Yeah,
I mean,
you
yeah,
put
see,
it on a toe?
They're not putting cereal on them toes.
No, of course
Though,
not.
if you had a peanut butter toe and then you dipped it in cereal, it would probably hold on so you could have a nice little, fancy little delicacy.
How much of the money do you think is actually going to the to the charity that they.
Most of it is going to PTSD therapy for these kids.
Imagine they do all that and then they just like
a lot of it
scumbag nonprofit actually shuffle around the funds and just launder the money.
A lot of it is going to their peanut butter budget.
Yeah, for next
We're
year.
gonna need way more peanut butter next year.
Yeah.
Like, that was a hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's also surprising with the internet. I feel like even kids in rural areas know about all the crazy stuff. And so it is surprising that the kids were also like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And also knowing that you can like shoot everything and everything is going to be on TikTok. Like
that's exactly
the news.
How we have the video of this is like a kid. It's a kid in the assembly videotape and be like, they're going to town. He's like, they're going to town. He's like yelling it out. It's so fucking
amazing.
It's so fucking crazy.
It's amazing.
But
so put gay books back in school.
Put gay books back in school. We that's a good place though. We made it to the end of the podcast.
What?
Yeah.
The very end?
Yeah. So if you guys want to like plug your social media or whatever, where people can find you, I know.
You can find me at 893. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. You can find me on Instagram at GAHHHBBIEWATTS. That's like Gabbie Watts. And then I'm also on TikTok, but I don't post. I have more followers there, but I don't really post there. Now the algorithm doesn't like me anymore.
I keep getting stuff taken off of TikTok. They took down the video of me making fun of Jordan Peterson fans.
But then they kept with the peanut butter toes on there.
Yeah, I bet they will not like this peanut butter toes.
It's telling.
Yeah.
Find me at Isaiah_Pringle on everything.
Heir of the Pringles Foundation.
That was a good one. I haven't heard that
one. As always, follow this podcast at jakeand.off.podcast and send anything at all to jakeand.off.podcast@gmail.com. I'll look at it at least once.
Specifically your
That's
feet
my rule.
pics. Send us pictures of your toes.
Hey,
dip them in some peanut butter.
Here's a video of some children licking some food.
No, if it's they know, because this has come up before. They know if it's illegal, I'll send it to the police. If not, if it's like a picture of like weed or something, I'm not gonna do that, of course.
Yeah, cool.
But
guy.
like they know what I mean. Yeah, they know.
Yeah,
what I mean.
you guys know what he means.
You know what I mean.
Because you're the Jake and Off squad.
Yeah.
What do you call your
Jake
fans?
Off Nation.
Oh, Jake
And I love you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.